tonight. Saskatoon City Council puts restrictions on the sale of bear spray. And the Riders look to prevent another near last-minute comeback from their opponents in Saturday's game.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Thursday, July 31st, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. Saskatoon City Council has made bylaw changes in hopes of cracking down on bear spray attacks. It comes as police say the number of attacks in the city have been rising sharply. Jeremy Warren has our top story.
It's pretty horrible, yeah, for sure. It comes out in a pretty big cloud. That would fill a city bus pretty quick. It's pretty horrific. So, yeah, definitely offensive weapon if used in that manner, for sure.
Shop owner Paul Dubinsky is describing what Saskatoon City Hall hopes to prevent with a new bylaw. That's because it just got harder to buy bear spray in the city. On Wednesday, City Council approved new restrictions and requirements for businesses selling bear spray. They have to record personal details of the customers buying the spray and note the date, time, and name of the employee who sold it. Customers also have to be 18 or older and show 2 pieces of ID to purchase. Saskatoon Police asked City Council for the changes. They say bear spray attacks recently doubled to 367 last year, and youth committed more than half of those. But some retailers aren't convinced the bylaw will work.
You can go on Amazon or eBay and you can order this stuff and get it. So, I don't know. Is it a good idea? Sure. And I'm all for it. But do I think it's going to make a big difference? No, in the crime rate. It's still going to be used.
Back 40 Guns and Gear sells around a dozen canisters a year, and Dubinsky says his store already follows the same rules set out in the city's bylaw.
Any product can be misused, whether it's a gun, a knife, bear spray, a baseball bat, right? So, if there's no consequences for breaking the law, you can pass all the legislation you want. Again, it comes down to criminals don't care.
The maximum fine for breaking the bylaw is $10,000, and it's $25,000 for corporations found in violation. Saskatoon police expect retail restrictions to curb misuse and help investigators track down perpetrators. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
And that bylaw change comes as new legislation was being rolled out by the province on Thursday to combat street weapons. Alex Kozrowski has that story.
The Safe Public Spaces Act, or Street Weapons Act, will come into effect in Saskatchewan on August 1st. Police will have the power to seize street weapons, but only if they believe they pose a threat to the public.
The act was first introduced in December of last year. Friday, when it comes into effect, municipalities and First Nations can choose to opt in and use it.
This is giving police the additional tool to say that while those offenses may not be occurring, that item is dangerous in this context. Carrying a machete through a park. There's no legitimate purpose for a machete being in a park, and while they may not be violating the criminal code, we want to give police the opportunity to say that, to determine if that's deemed to be a dangerous situation, they can remove that item.
Blades more than 30 centimeters long, body armor, bear spray, hatchets, sledgehammers, and explosives, including fireworks, can all now be taken by police officers.
We call the police if there's an issue, but things happen before that too. Whether it's asking the person to leave or for the safety of our own staff, more importantly too. And that's a little daunting to do when you see someone with a knife attached to their hip too.
As for punishment, people carrying these weapons can be charged with a provincial offense, which, if convicted, can bring them up to a year behind bars. However, police can use their discretion and seize dangerous items without laying charges. Alex Kozrowski, CBC News, Moose Jaw.
A 13-year-old has died after an early morning collision in Regina. It happened around 5:30 Thursday morning near the Northgate Mall. Police say a vehicle hit a power pole and then rolled. The young teen was a passenger in the vehicle. They died at the scene. Police are investigating, but they do expect charges to be laid. A person is recovering in a Saskatoon hospital after being run over by a garbage truck. It happened in this alley in the Riversdale neighborhood Wednesday morning. They say the person was lying near a power box when the truck driver made a sharp left turn and ran over the person's legs. The city says garbage trucks have a right-hand driver's seat for easier collection, and the driver did not see the person on the ground. It's not known how seriously injured they were. No charges have yet been laid. The northern village of Pinehouse is now under a mandatory evacuation order. The community of about 1,000 people is being threatened by the Muskeg Fire. That's the same fire that forced the evacuation of Beauval earlier this month. People from the community were put on buses late Wednesday and headed to hotels in Regina where they arrived early Thursday morning.
During our evacuation, it was about 20 minutes out from Pinehouse. We'd actually seen a few fires. It wasn't nothing too big, but not something you're comfortable with at all. It was kind of frightening, and I'm just happy to be away from that.
Evacuees are expected to be out of Pinehouse for at least a week. Only essential workers remain in the village. An out-of-control wildfire is edging toward Lytton, BC. Officials say the fire has become a threat to life and safety. Lytton First Nation has issued an evacuation order for 2 sparsely populated reserves. The fire is burning out of control 10 kilometers south of the village of Lytton. The community and Lytton First Nation were devastated by a wildfire 4 years ago. Meanwhile, in the Okanagan region, an evacuation order has been issued for 400 properties near Peachland. Officials say the order will remain in effect for 48 hours and then will be reassessed. Well, it took hours of debate, but Regina City Council has approved the cost increase for the city's new aquatic center. Councillors voted 9-2 in favor of the $40 million price hike. That brings the total cost to around $280 million. Some cost-conscious councillors attempted to delay the vote or modify the project to shrink that cost, but those efforts were swiftly defeated by the majority of council.
Let's move on. Let's move forward to pave something new that this council want to do for our community. Please, I cannot continue to rehash decisions that have already been made.
City administration has made it clear that any attempt to shrink the facility's budget could mean a lack of accessibility features, among other priorities. Construction on the facility is scheduled to begin this fall, and it's expected to open in 2029. Canada's biggest exhibition is seeing a surge in job applications this year. Thousands have registered for the CNE Job Fair in Toronto, and as Lisa Shing reports, many are young people still searching for a summer job.
The struggle to find work is felt acutely at this job fair.
I went to an interview yesterday, they said no. I've been to like 10 interviews this summer alone. I can't get a job.
Well, looking at like movies and stuff, you just go in and get a job. It's more like they were complaining about having a job, but now it's all I want.
The Canadian National Exhibition says it received a record 54,000 applications.
I see cashier here at McDonald's.
Job seekers here hope to be one of the 5,000 lucky enough to snag a seasonal position, typically filled by young people.
No one wants to accept young people. So it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find a job nowadays.
Indeed, it's a tough labor market for them. Apart from the pandemic, people between the ages of 15 and 24 are facing the highest unemployment rate in 15 years, currently hovering around 14% nationwide.
The people that are struggling are what we call the new labor market entrants, people who are entering the labor market to try and find a job. For them, it's really hard. It's not people are losing their jobs, it's that it's harder to get into jobs.
Experts say there's been a kind of whiplash in the job market in the last few years. Post-pandemic, the economy regained jobs it lost. Now there's an inflation crisis, and the uncertainty amidst a trade war with the U.S. means companies are slower to hire and pickier.
Every place asks for experience, but how are you supposed to get experience if you don't have any yet?
This stress, along with other worries about housing costs, climate change, is leading to an increase in mental health issues that disproportionately affects racialized youth, says this professor.
Often it is the fact that these things that compromise health and well-being, like unemployment or racism, these things tend to hang together.
I did get a job, I'm so happy.
A moment of celebration for at least some in this crowd. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, a nice little pop of color along the streets of Moose Jaw on this Thursday. Main Street, of course, is buzzing with traffic and residents and even some tourists taking in a beautiful summer afternoon in the friendly city. As for whether these conditions are going to stick with us as we head into August, if you can believe it, well, Helena Mahalik has those answers in her forecast after the break. Stay with us. The Saskatchewan NDP says rent hikes are pushing people to the breaking point. It's planning to table a bill for rent control in the legislature this fall. The NDP says it's having public consultations on the issue. Opposition housing critic April Chiefcalf says raising rents are forcing people to choose between paying for shelter or food. She says feedback will shape the private members' legislation she intends to introduce. 86-year-old Jean Carroll says she's had enough.
We cannot afford it. It's hard to understand how the increases go unchecked in this province when in other provinces they have rent controls.
Carroll's landlord raised rents in her building by $425 recently. That's prompted her to start a petition for rent controls, which are already in place in BC, Ontario, Manitoba, and PEI. In a statement, the government said rent control could cause housing shortages. It also says social housing is available, along with grants for secondary suites and PST rebates for new home construction. Well, a couple of cattle ranchers in Alberta are experimenting with a new technique, massaging newborn calves. As the CBC's Karina Zapata reports, they're looking to see if it could make for a healthier and more profitable herd.
It's time for this calf's special spa treatment. A 1-minute head-to-hoof massage.
I'm giving this calf a massage to imitate what its mother will do and create a positive bond with the animal. So future interactions we have with it, it won't be viewing us as a predator. It has a positive interaction with us.
The Nielsens have been massaging every other calf born on their ranch within a week of birth for 5 years now. They're looking to see if the practice can reduce the calf's stress, make them healthier, and increase profitability in the long run. It's all part of a research study with Olds College.
We found in the first year that animals that received the massage, they were 47 pounds heavier than animals that did not receive massage. In the second year, we found about 20 pounds heavier than animals that did not receive massage. But we did not test the DNA at that time, so we cannot ensure that those weights come from the treatment. That's why this year we're doing DNA testing.
That DNA testing would rule out whether the sire's genetics are contributing to the weight differences. Karen's husband, Lance, hopes those answers might relieve some skepticism in the industry. But for him, the extra time spent is worth it.
A calf is worth, say, about $5 a pound when you wean them from their mother. So if you're getting an extra 30 pounds, we're talking $150 for a minute of work. $150 a minute, that's a pretty good payday for you.
Until then, this is the most relaxed calf out there. They're hoping she gets pretty heavy too. And once the study is over,
We will definitely carry forward when the data collection is complete, and we will massage every calf that is born here.
the researchers are aiming to analyze the data and submit their scientific paper in the next couple of months. Karina Zapata, CBC News, Stettler, Alberta.
To be a calf in the field getting a massage in the pasture looks pretty nice. Helena Mahalik is in now with a look at the forecast. Weather was pretty nice, pretty relaxing for me, I thought, today.
Pretty relaxing here, things getting very hot. Maybe not quite as relaxing for some areas that are under heat warnings. Let's take a look at where that is in the province. Those heat warnings are in effect for the entirety of northern Saskatchewan. And of course, this area also is under an air quality advisory. We're also seeing heat warnings in west central Saskatchewan for areas around Lloydminster. And these areas are going to have daytime highs above 30 degrees. And now this radar doesn't exactly show up north, but even as far up north as Meadow Lake, we're seeing temperatures at 30 degrees. The rest of the province in the high 20s, but with the humidex, many places feeling like 30 degrees or in the low 30s. And in the province this evening, we're not seeing too much activity. There's a 30% chance of showers with a risk of thunderstorms for the Churchill region for areas around La Ronge. But as we get into our long weekend, we're not seeing too much activity in the province, just a chance of scattered showers. Friday, we're going to see that in the south, in the southwest corner, as well as in the southeast for areas around Yorkton. It's going to be much of the same thing Saturday, the chance of scattered showers in central Saskatchewan, in between the Churchill region and the northern grain belt, as well as in the southwest for areas around Swift Current. And as we get into Sunday, we're going to just see a slight chance of showers in the southwest for areas around Kindersley. The rest of the province in for a very calm Sunday. And wind-wise, we're just seeing a bit of a breeze in the southeast for areas around Estevan and Regina Thursday evening. As we get into Friday, we're going to continue to see a bit of a breeze in the south with wind gusts up to 30 kilometers an hour. And we're seeing that the direction the wind is going in is favorable for pushing any smoke that could be in the southeast up towards the north. And into Saturday, we're just seeing a very slight breeze in the south and in the far north there. In terms of our smoke, we're going to continue to see smoke moving around in the Churchill region between Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and smoke plumes are possible for Prince Albert as well as the Estevan area. And temperature-wise, Thursday temperatures reach 30 degrees with many areas under that heat warning. Friday, we're going to continue to see daytime highs of 30 degrees. The far north is even going to see 33 degrees. Saturday, same thing. We're going to see the humidex that may make things feel even hotter. And Sunday's going to be our last day, Ethan, of that hot temperatures. So the entire long weekend is going to be a very hot one indeed.
Yeah, we deserve a long weekend uninterrupted by the weather. Helena, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, Summer McIntosh is now a 3-time gold medalist at the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore. But even with a big lead, she was unable to meet her personal goal. CBC's Devin Haru has more.
Canadian swimming sensation Summer McIntosh has done it again. 3 for 3 in her drive for 5 individual gold medals. What an electrifying 200-meter butterfly by the 18-year-old Canadian. She was pushing hard on breaking the world record here today. The longest standing women's world record in this event, going all the way back to 2009. And 150 meters into the race, McIntosh was under world record pace. She just touched the wall behind it, a championship record time. She was visibly disappointed after the race, and when she came over to our interview position right here, she was very frustrated. Perhaps that lets us know just exactly the level Summer McIntosh is on. Win a gold medal, break the championship record, and is still disappointed. She said this is only going to fuel her for the rest of this meet and for her training. She says, I want to get rid of this record at some point. We should also point out Kylie Moss with a 4th place finish in the 50-meter backstroke. Blake Tierney breaks the national 200-meter backstroke record not once, but twice here today. He's into the men's backstroke final on Friday night here in Singapore, and the Canadians 4x 200-meter freestyle relay finishes 6th. But once again, tonight belongs to Summer McIntosh here at the World Aquatics Championships. For CBC Sports in Singapore, I'm Devin Haru.
Well, people in a Virginia town are continuing a 100-year tradition. They are taking their ponies out for a nice ocean dip. Thousands of people turned out for the century-old event. It involves saltwater cowboys herding wild ponies on a short swim between two islands. By tradition, the first foal on shore is named King Neptune. The swim and surrounding activities raise money for the town's volunteer fire company, which manages the herd and the event. Stay with us. We're back after the break. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are ready to head to Montreal, but first, they took to the field Thursday for one last practice. The Riders will take on an Alouettes team that sits second in the East Division with a 5-2 record. The struggle for the Riders this season has been putting teams away. The Green and White had big leads in each of their last two games, but let their opponents stage late comebacks and make it a close contest. And against a good team like Montreal, the Riders say they need to do better.
Just more focus, understand how they're trying to attack us in those situations to get down the field, and then just making the plays. They weren't running nothing complicated or anything like that. So
make sure we're staying aggressive, staying foot on the pedal, because if you're up 21-4 in the fourth quarter, you shouldn't let a team get to 21-18. And it's your job as an offense to stay on the field and put more points on the board and extend the lead so that the game doesn't come down to needing a game-winning sack.
Receiver Sam Emelis has officially been ruled out for Saturday's game because of a knee injury. He had not practiced all week. Canadian Tommy Neild will take his spot. Kickoff Saturday is 5 o'clock Saskatchewan time. And Helena's back now with one last look at our forecast.
It's going to be a very hot weekend in the province. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Regina. Friday, we're going to see temperatures close to 30 degrees, and our overnight lows are also going to be feeling close to 20 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see temperatures closer to seasonal with some cloud coverage as well. Maybe a good day to get to the Queen City X. Monday, we're seeing the return of temperatures about 30 degrees, but some rainfall. Tuesday is going to bring temperatures back to seasonal, and we're going to see that rain take us to about Thursday and a few breezy days this week as well. Saskatoon is going to be feeling a little bit warmer. The sun is going to be out all throughout the week, and we're going to see those 30-degree daytime highs and close to 20-degree overnight lows last until about Monday. And we're going to see some showers start Monday with a chance of thunderstorms, and that's going to take us until about Thursday. And with those showers, we're seeing the return to about seasonal conditions. And Thursday, we're going to see the sun come back out and that rain stop. So it's definitely going to be a hot weekend in the province, and definitely the time to get out, maybe check out the Fringe Festival.
Yeah, lots going on. It's lots of heat, but doesn't seem like it's going to stick around for a super long time, so that's good news. Thank you, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
And that is our news for this Thursday. For more news anytime, you can always head to our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can also download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thanks so much for watching.